Hey everyone, I welcome you all to the BUGTRONS Con series. Today's session is powered by Hack2skill, streaming partner StreamYard, and brought to you by DEVSTRONS and Learn with Community. So, talking about BUGTRONS is an initiative by DEVSTRONS. It began with a mindset of encouraging community folks and making them aware of the edtech industry by putting emphasis on problem solving, code efficiency, code optimization, and logic based programming. We empower coders to get influenced by developing software, enhancing their skills, solving bugs, which is a part of development, and producing numerous opportunities via tech. If you haven't registered yet for the contest, the links are in the description below. Do check it out and register today on just after the session. So we are back with another session of BUGTRONS Con series with quite an interesting topic today. And today's topic revolves around hackathon ecosystem and let's meet today's guest, Anuj Sharma. So, talking about Anuj, he is an amazing community guy, currently working as lead community team at Hack2skill, and he has previously worked at Savo Labs also as a community manager, and he has experience in robotic process automation, and he is a community enthusiast working towards evangelizing tech. So, hey Anuj.
Hey Ashish, thanks a lot for the wonderful and suitable intro. Thanks a lot,
Yeah,
and I hope I'm
sorry if I
clearly audible and visible.
Yeah, you are clearly audible and
Great.
video scripts. And sorry if I have missed anything. Do you want to just add to your intro?
No, no, that's fine. That's actually way too much.
Oh, okay, okay. You are being generous now. So, yeah, coming to the session, do you want to share something about yourself and Hector skill in general?
Okay, so I'll start that how I started my journey, which companies I've worked with, how I am right now with Hack2skill. So, how many hackathons have you attended? I'll be taking that question and as part of my story. So, I started my journey around with communities like 3 years back, and my first hackathon I attended was in 2017. It was a college, in college ideathon. That was my first thing which I attended, and it's been really great. But like after attending few hackathons, by few I mean 10 to 15, I felt like organizing them would be more fun, rather than just taking part, because I am interested in tech, but I'm not the person who can sit on system and like build bots. If I talk about RP, or like write programs, thousand lines of programs and build a product, like I can do that, but eventually I prefer going out and talking to people. So the community
Yeah,
was more like dominant for me. That figure out community is very more important. So I started working with Pi Jaipur. Then I worked with different communities, became the tech staff of my institute. Eventually, throughout that journey, I organized many events. Summer of Algorithm was one of my favorite events, which I did with Pi Jaipur. I organized hackathons. I was a part of Smart India Hackathon organizing community in my institute in my
that's great.
college, and then like a collaborative with other communities throughout India, Pi Chennai, Docker Delhi, Pi Data Delhi, and eventually then I started working at like a pan India level. I joined Incubate after that, so I worked there for 6 months. Then like moving on from a service centric community and a company, I moved on to Savo for the next 6 months, which was a product centric community, where we
Yeah,
supported hackathons, where we used to sponsor hackathons. And hello, I hope I'm audible.
yeah, Anuj,
Okay, so okay, coming back. So after that, I moved to Savo, and right now I'm working at Hack2skill, which is right now a service bit, but eventually we are going to be on more on a SaaS service, software as a service model eventually. And yes, the goal throughout remained the same. Like supporting the community. No matter in which community I was, no matter which organization I was working for or working with, but the goal throughout was like working uh, to support the community, to help student as an organizer learn, and help organizers to organize events and initiatives, and help students to learn from that. So, taking on the question that how many hackathons were you a part of? So, I'm not sure the count right now. I need to check, but it's gonna be 100 plus. I was part of like 100 plus hackathons in various roles: mentor, jury, uh, participant, volunteer, organizer, sponsor. Hey Fazil, hey Deepak. I can see a lot of people in the comment section. So yes, I have been part of 100 plus hackathons, and the number, like might go up to 130 plus, but let's keep it 100 plus for now. I'll check and put out the number for sure sometime. I'm not bragging, but just being humble. But yes, community has supported me a lot, and I'm just trying to do the same for the community. So answering one of the question which was in the chat, uh, 100 plus hackathons, that's impressive, thanks a lot, but it's all thanks to the team which I've worked with. Every time there was a new team and I really liked it. So right now I'm part of BUGTRONS con. So I'm not sure if I'm going to count this as a hackathon, but eventually yes, I'm going to count it as one of, one of the major initiatives. So yeah, this is it about my journey of, like starting as a student, now being coordinator, organizer, mentor, now being, like on the speaker and the sponsor part. So yeah, that's it on that.
That's great to
Thanks a
know
lot,
about your
Ananya.
experience, Anuj. Means I really resonate with it because I am also a part in some of the hackathons and organized some, and I know what you are talking about. So, talking about the first ideathon which you just talked about, so what was your experience as a participant? Means what things you liked about it and what things you disliked as a participant?
Being honest, we just went there to have fun because we got the notification that everyone is allowed to stay late night outside the hostel. So this was our
And free
motive of
coffee.
going free, no, free swags and refreshments.
Oh,
So being a hostel guy,
okay.
that was a lot for me, right? So
Yeah.
that was the reason for me to go. But and we had 12 members in a team, right? So we talked to the organizers because we knew the seniors are like, "Ki, bhaiya, please, like let like four extra members come in a team, and let's join." So we just went with the intention to have fun. But when we saw the problem statement, we got problem statement on spot. We did not have anything. It was an ideathon, not a hackathon. So eventually we had to
Okay.
come up with a startup idea, business model to work around that problem statement which you are getting, right? To develop a business model and the
Okay.
whole use case study, and to build a prototype, not exactly prototype, but like use Figma, Wix, just to show and demonstrate how your product is going to look like. So when we saw that, and we had few people, uh, you know, in my team itself, like who were like, "Hey, let's do it. Let's give it a try." Because the intro part with the guest speaker was really really great. I'm not sure if I get it right. I guess some MVP from Swiggy, like one of the founding team members of Swiggy or Ola. I'm not sure which one, but he came and talked. So that was really inspiring. Like, let's give it a try. So one of our
Yeah.
friend knew Wix. I was good at presentation and building up strategies and all. At that level, I was, used to think I'm good, but I can say right now I'm good, not at that point. So we did, like by hooks and calling seniors, ki, "Bhaiya, ye kaise hoga, ye kaise hoga." We did our best, and surprising fact, we were one of the top 10 teams in 120 teams participating that night.
That's great.
That's
Means
insanely great. That was
yeah.
pretty shocking for us because we had seniors also competing in that competition, and just because of our idea was good, it was feasible. We had a good revenue model as well as a good BMC. I'm not sure if you know what BMC is, business model canvas. That's something comes under
Okay.
entrepreneurship topic. BMC.
I don't know about that. Yeah.
A business model
It,
canvas. It's something which comes in ideathons and all. So we
okay.
built that. It was really good for presentation. I guess we used Prezi, and one of our seniors told you can use Figma to create, the app pages, how your app is going to look like, and Wix to show how your website is going to look like. So seniors guided us, कि ये kar lo, ho jayega. We did that. Eventually, one of us had, get graphic mindset or design mindset. So we created good UI UX. My
Yeah.
father is a businessman, so I know how to, think how can we earn money from every step we are doing. I have that mindset as well with me, so we did a good job,
Okay.
decent. And that point I realized that if I can learn so much in 12 hours, it was like starting from 9 p.m to morning 9 a.m. 12 hours. What if I go to multiple hackathons, not just from my university, but different communities? If I go to hackathons of different institutes, if I get a chance, I go to different state, how much I'm going to learn from that? And then it clicked me that if you're gonna at that time I had a mindset that I have to be, placed in fang typical, like I have to be software engineer in Google, Amazon, or like agar wo karna hai, then you have to go into hackathons, learn and explore. But eventually
uh,
I got the right mindset, right guidance from my seniors. But it was pretty, eye opening. Okay, you can learn a lot in a single day. At that point I learned how to use Vex. I
yeah.
learned how to create a PMC. My seniors guided me that there was like a group of mentor panel who used to like, you do this, it will be better. So he guided us
Okay.
to do the whole PMC model and everything. I'm like, I called my dad at 2 p.m. Ki, Papa, this is the thing which I'm thinking, how we can incorporate, the legalities and the funding thing. I'm like, ki, Pap, my father was not aware that I'm participating. Like, पागल हो गया 2 बजे रात को. For the guys who don't know Hindi, that means like, are you mad? You're calling me at 2 a.m. Like, no, there's a competition going on, this and that. But eventually we won the second, when I was in second year, we won that 2018 Ideathon. Our idea was selected as one of the most innovative and feasible idea, and same in the third year as well. So yeah,
And
that
it
was
was
my
the
first.
same idea, and you kept improving it step. Okay.
No. In Ideathon, which I was participating, every
Yeah.
year the problem statements used to change. You used to get a different case
Okay.
scenario where you had to build startup. So it
Got it.
was different. And in my fourth year, and in my like, and when I became the alumni, I went there as a mentor, and the last time I went as a jury. So like I've been part of 5 consecutive ideathons, three as participant, one as mentor, one as jury.
That is a lot of experience for any community guy, and I really
Yeah,
appreciate that we have a chance to get to know about your experience. And
that's
talking about the presentation which you just talked about, you used Prezi. So I have an
yeah.
experience which I want to share. So I participated in a college hackathon. So that had a shortlisting round. We had to just present our idea based on the problem statements which were provided. So we had also used Prezi, and it is a great presentation tool. I agree. So they were just mesmerized by the presentation itself, and they said, "You have a good project. Go ahead." So I was like, "Yeah, presentation is the most important part in the beginning." But
Totally
after
agreed.
that, we also worked on the project, and it was good. So talking about the learning in one day, I you also might be hearing this, like many students or your friends also will be talking, I'll take at least 1 month to learn React and another 1 month to learn Node.js. So in hackathons it's not like that. We just learn it in few hours and work a working project. So that is a
Exactly.
good thing we learn in
I have a
hackathon.
live example. This happened with me. So we participated in the prelims of Smart India Hackathon. That's I guess in my third year, third or
Okay.
second, third year, yeah. So it was a mix. The project was a hybrid actually. It was a software project which had few aspects in Internet of Things. It was like a software project mixed with hardware, right? So one of my friends was expert. He has like 9 patents on his name, so he took care of the
Mm.
hardware thing. In the software it was divided into two things: Node.js part and the RPA part. I took care of the RPA part. One of my friends was taking care. So for the people, when you come into third year, you realize that what kind of team members you need in your team. So we had people with specific roles. So one of my friend was working on the presentation documentation stuff. I was working on the RPA and presentation, and my other friend, he was working on a Node.js part. So there was a thing which we needed, like to compile the whole hardware and software part of our projects. And he did not know about that. He started learning Node just like 2 months back, and it was like level two thing, and he knew everything on level one. He went to YouTube. He went to Stack Overflow. He went to GitHub open source projects and repos. He looked into various plugins and everything. Within 4 hours, he was able to create the thing not on a perfect level, but yes, calm, chill out type, so that we can clear the prelims ka first round at least,
Yeah.
right? So you have to, it's like how should I life and death seconds when you are in a hackathon. If you don't get this
Yeah.
done by checkpoint, when you're going to be disqualified. And we
Yeah.
did a really hard work buying all the components we needed. We spent a lot of money, so eventually we wanted to be part of Smart India Hackathon. So learning is directly proportional to the stress or pressure in a hackathon. If it's very much, you're going to learn a lot. If you have that
Yeah.
mindset, or you will be broken easily. You're like, nahi karna, I can't win, I'm not participating. But you're going to learn a lot from that.
Yeah, I agree. So, and coming to the point, like team selection. So, what do you think how a participant should select their team?
See, selecting a team has various levels.
Yes.
I'm not sure how many people are seeing this from first year, second year, third year. But if you ask me, there are three stages of selecting a team. One is when you are in your early stage and you don't know anything about hackathons, so you're gonna go with your friends. That's a good
Definitely.
decision because you have that synergies. But select friends who are willing to work, not the friends who are going there, for the fun aspect of the hackathons. That's the first phase. Second is like after you get some experience, you divide the roles, which I did, which was a dumb idea, but it turned out great in the latter half of my third year. That we completed the first year summer vacations of 2 to 3 months, we assigned
Okay.
roles. Ki Ashish, you're going to do the front end. Akash, you're going to do the back end. Shruti going to take care of the graphics. I'm going to look at the presentation, documentation, and everything. You're going to take care of, we divided the technologies in different aspect, different person that you learn in 2 months. We'll do that. It was a good strategy
Okay.
if the person sticks to that technology. But if the interest changes, you're not going to stick to the same technology. You're going to change it, right? Because I changed my interest from Python and Django to RP in my third year. So this is the second
Okay.
level, and third is the level where you go into hackathons, you meet new people, and you see your friends are participating in hackathons. So you form a team with the people who are going to multiple hackathons. So suppose Ashish was a part of a hackathon team and he went to a hackathon 10 times and I went to hackathon 20 times, but we had like five hackathons in common. So I've seen Ashish's works, right? So eventually I'm going to reach out to him, hey Ashish, you did a great job and I think we'll be a great fit. So you form a team of people who are going into hackathons at like multiple aspects. So you have the similar mindset ki okay, if you talk to a person who is going for the first time in hackathon, he'll divide the time in like 6 hours fun, 10 hours work, 2 hours sleep. If you talk to a person who has been going into multiple hackathons for like continuous first, second, third year, he'll divide
Yeah.
1 hour fun, 20 hours work, half an hour sleep. He's going to
Yeah.
divide the time in this manner, right? So you will create a team of people who have the similar mindset of working, and which will cause less trouble. So if you go with the level one thing, that you go with your friends, and if the friends develop into people who are gonna be, the tech geeks, or the community people who participate into hackathon, then it's good. But eventually you're gonna go to all the stages, and at the end you're gonna form team with people who love hackathons, who go into multiple hackathons. But yes, just a suggestion to everyone: don't select people on the basis of their experience. He is really good at Node.js. Let's take him into our team. If your synergies don't match, no matter how expert he is at Node.js or how expert a person is in any of the domain or any technology, he's not going to work with the team. And hackathon is a team event. Eventually, one person is going to develop the product, but the ideation, the strategies, the whole building is going to be through team. So just ensure that there's a synergy of forming, doing the ice breaking before the hackathon, connecting multiple times. It shouldn't be like that. Oh, Ashish, we talked a lot on phone, but we are meeting for the first time. It should not be that the case.
Yeah, I agree. So various hackathons also have their communication channels on Discord or Slack,
Hmm.
whatever. So they also have a team formation channel also where you
Yeah.
can just search for your team members if you are lacking one. And I suppose Hack2skill also has some kind of this feature for team formation. Is there?
Yes, exactly. So talking about Hack2skill hackathons. So Hack2skill do two kinds of thing. One is the upskilling. That's the where we get the corporate industry experts or the corporate companies like UiPath, Snapchat, Snap India to like help students learn their technology, robotic process automation, augmented reality. And the second
Yeah.
one is where we support the hackathons. So
Yes.
nobody will be aware of this right now because we have an exclusive platform launch going on, and it will be public day after tomorrow. So guys, I'm officially announcing on the BUGTRONS YouTube session that Hack2skill is launching its own hackathon platform for the community. Give it out a test, go on a test drive, build your own hackathon. and we have a lot in that. And yes, there's a feature on the dashboard itself to create a team and invite people. And eventually we have our own community server where we're building community of, a diverse community of people from different fields. You can yesterday itself there was some like 2 to 3 members who were asking that I want a Node.js expert, I need a Flutter expert for my team for instinct hackathon. So yes, there's a lot which we can do check out the platform, guys. I know it seems like a promotion, but yes, do check it out once.
Yeah, if it is for community, then it is a great thing to share with everyone.
And just adding it, it's free for the community. All the
Yeah,
services of the platform is free, no exclusivity, and we are keeping it from a paid model. All the features are free for community.
community for the win.
Exactly.
So, Anuj, coming to the types of hackathons, there are various types of hackathons which you might have heard of and also
Yeah.
participated in. So, some are the hackathons like companies organize it to solve some of their problem statements. Some are the student-run hackathons which you might and we might have organized sometime. And some are government-organized hackathons like SIH and various hackathons which are
Yeah.
organized by government. So, do you want to talk about that a little more, like what is the difference between them and how it can help various kind of participants, because not all the hackathons are helpful for us, because some are just for going for fun. So government
Yeah.
hackathons are, I don't consider it as a fun event, because student-led hackathons have more fun oriented schedule. So there are gaming nights and there are multiple things. So yeah, do you want to talk about
See,
that more?
I have a different perspective on this, right? So the categorization which you did is the perfect one which happens in the market. But
Yeah,
what I categorize as a participant, which we should do, is that from which hackathon we are going to get more benefit, right?
yeah,
So if I like mix both the things together, if you want a job internship, you have expertise in a domain, your whole team knows what they are doing, then the best place to go is government hackathons like Smart India hackathons. If you win it,
yeah,
you're gonna get a government-based internship for sure.
yeah,
One, then priority would be the corporate hackathons, because the intention of corporate hackathon is to solve a problem in their internal company or find a solution for a complex task. So if you solve that, either they are going to pay you for your project to take the rights from you. They're like, hey, Ashish, give me a project and you're right, I'm going to give you 2 lakhs 3 lakhs apart from the prize money. Or they'll onboard you as a freelancer, consultant, intern, with whatever tag, and you'll be working with that company. And then
yeah.
comes the student-led hackathons.
Student-led.
So
Yeah,
the opportunities in student-led hackathons are great, but the turnout ratio seems a little less. Reason being, corporate hackathons and government hackathons have high standards, whereas we compare to the student-led hackathons, what I think 60% participation is of the students or the hackers who have been part of hackathons, and 40 to 50% are roughly who are new to hackathons, who want to give it a try, right?
yeah,
So eventually the projects dilutes a lot, so chances of getting a internship or a job out of a student-led hackathon is really low for an intermediate level person, because there's a person who has been into 10 hackathons and still participating in student-based hackathon. But the pros of a student-led hackathon is that they have track prices. So
yeah,
if a company is sponsoring a track and they like your project, eventually either they're going to fund your project or they're going to onboard you as the intern. So this is an easy way of if your target is just getting a job or internship, you can leave out winning a hackathon, but if you just focus on using that product in your project with like giving 100% of it, then you can get that thing. This used to happen in Savo. People used to like aim of getting the Savo integrated in the project and you know give it out to us, because we used to take care of the projects. If the project idea was really good
yes,
and it's going to be converted into product, eventually we used to fund it when I was
yes,
part of Savo. So I categorize hackathons into these level, that if you want to do this, then go to this. If you want to have fun, go to student-based hackathons. They are gonna be networking sessions, fun sessions. They are gonna be stand-up nights, singing nights. They are gonna be mentor connects, a fun mentor connect, right? If you want to be like a neutral zone, we need fun, but we need opportunity, scope, and everything. You have to go to corporate hackathons,
yeah, definitely.
because corporate hackathons tend to keep the startup vibe also in them, right? You talk about Microsoft hackathon. We organized one of the Microsoft hackathons like 2 or 3 years back. It was in Delhi and Bangalore, and it was really fun. Like, we had a whole setup for game zone. We had systems running Forza and Call of Duty on the systems. We had one bowling alley. We had the whole beanbag set up in between the main corridor, like just sit and code. So if you're gonna have like corporate, but there's a big but in the corporate hackathons, right? Whenever you go into corporate hackathons, think wisely, because there are hackathons who will have the TNC under them, that if you submit a project, they have the rights to it, right? So
Yes,
we at Hack2skill keep this thing in mind, that irrespective of student participating in hackathon, the rights to the idea remains to the students, right?
that's really
So
great thing
yeah,
because
that's
you have
something.
created
And
it.
if the company wants to use it, onboard them as a part of some program.
Yeah,
Simple. It's simple as
yeah,
that. Huh, or just buy them off. If student wants to give the idea, he's like, okay, I just created this project for this hackathon. I'm earning 2 lakhs out of it. That's fine. I'm going to give it to you. Just do it. So select your hackathons wisely. The most competitive one is going to be the government hackathons, like Smart India hackathons.
yeah.
One of the most, just imagine, just for Smart India hackathon to happen, there are 200s and 300s college doing prelims, and then
Yes.
they're going to send the winners to Smart India hackathon. So those hackathons are one of the most competitive hackathons I've ever seen, if I talk about the
And
Indian community ecosystem.
yeah, and the projects which are submitted to the Smart India Hackathon turn out to be very great projects, which are some of the projects are actually used by the government for their particular
Yeah.
uses and problem statements. So
One of my
that
friend
is,
eventually won Smart into Hackathon, and she got internship. I don't remember the organization name. I'm not sure if it's NTPC, but yeah, she got internship in one of the government organizations like NTPC EESL, and on the project on the technology robotic process automation. It was really fun. Like, eventually she did not share any details because it's confidential, but she used to
okay.
tell that I'm learning this to get this done. So the post hackathon journey with the organization is also really fun.
Yeah, for some of the Indian community members who has a dream of getting a government job, this is one of the way which Anuj talked about.
Definitely.
So yeah, and going forward, I want to discuss like from an organizer's perspective. So what are the important stages of a hackathon? Means what things should be in our mind, and if there are any important stages you want to talk about, how is Hector skill helping us?
See,
Oh,
I'm going to divide this question into two parts. One, how Hack2skill is helping us, and how
yeah,
organizers are going to divide the things into phases. So I myself has as an organizer organize a lot of hackathons and ideathons. So few things to keep in mind. One, have a good schedule from the launch and pre-development of the hackathon websites and stuff till the promotion, because I've seen people like building websites in 2 days, promoting for like 1 week and doing a hackathon. That's not gonna turn out great. If I
yeah,
give you example, Hack This Fall, Hack the League, they did promotion for approximately 1.5 and 2 months.
yeah,
In those 2 months, they reached out to multiple sponsors, multiple mentors, guest speakers, everything to take their hackathon to the next level, right? Even if you're doing a college based hackathon, have a good team who doesn't have ego in them. Having a good ego is good. That ये उसका काम नहीं है, ये मेरा काम है. I'm gonna do it. Why is he doing? He should do his own work in a good
yeah,
sense. Having that mindset is really good. But having that why Ashish is the host today. Just imagine if your team is saying this to you. Why Ashish is the host today? Right. Having that mindset
yeah,
is not good. So first,
yeah.
have a good team. Build a good team. Second, have a great timeline, or I'll say have a great the strategic overflow of the hackathon, the workflow of the hackathon. Build it in that way. You have sufficient time to look for sponsors. You have sufficient time to do the promotions and get the engagement. You have sufficient time to onboard speakers, mentors, juries. uh, think about platform, because I've seen people struggling saying after completing the hackathon, yeah, that platform is not giving me the data, the whole data set, right? They're just giving me the data of the teams who have
Yes,
submitted the ideas.
yes,
I'm not able to communicate properly through this platform. I am going to send bulk mails again and again to 2000 people, but I can't send the mails to those 500 people who have not submitted the ideas. right?
Yeah.
So think about your functionality, flexibility, and then decide the platform, and have a good PR team. Every team is important, but having a PR team is the most important thing, because PR team is eventually going to be the face of your hackathon, of your event, right? And that PR team is going to ensure your social media plan. You're going to help with the operations team, that you're going to execute in this way. We are going to do this fun event on social media. They're going to take care of the whole launch program, pre-launch, post-launch, orientation, everything. So have a good PR, have a good team. Even in that good team, like, spend more time on selecting the PR team,
PR.
and
Yeah.
then go ahead with that. And how Hack2skill is helping, coming to the second phase, or the point of this question, or second question. Hack2skill has its own platform. Like, I'm going to repeat my answer, copy paste, have its own platform, which we have launched, and which we have given flexibility. So what I've seen when I used to use other platforms, whenever you put out the details, it just gives you a page. This is
Yeah.
your hackathon image. These are the details, POCs, sponsors. They don't have their own website. Eventually, that page is the dashboard also, right? Which gets
Yeah.
consistent. So Hack2skill has developed a platform where organizers like Ashish can go right now on Hack2skill, create a hackathon in 5 minutes.
Really.
A hackathon website, hackathon website,
Okay.
a personalized dashboard for the students with the resources. If you have everything, if you have the content, if you have the creatives, you can create your hackathon in 5 minutes. Also, I'm giving you a lot of time. you know Go through the platform, check out the documentation. So that's why I'm giving you 5 minutes, and then just click on publish hackathon. H2S team will get a request that Ashish is trying to host a website. We'll have a look at that, we'll check it, and within like, if it's daytime, we'll just check it out and publish it. You can start your registration right away. You have your own separate admin panel to moderate the hackathon. You have Participants will have a team dashboard to submit the idea, join the communication channel, look for the resources, form a team, put out a team name, and moderate everything from a participant's perspective. And okay, we have team dashboard and the website. The third part, the face. So if it's fine with you, you don't need to create a website at all. You can just go to a platform, put out the details. Eventually, it's such a static website. We are trying to like, move forward with a dynamic one. But if we bring in the
Yeah.
concept of dynamic website, eventually, each organizer is going to say that, uh, I need this thing in my website. We
Yeah.
can't do that, right? We want to keep
It
it
is not
similar.
feasible. Yeah.
Not feasible, but that would be wrong. Just imagine Ashish is saying to do this in my page, I do that. And at the same time, Akash, random hackathon organizer, is going to come to me and like, yeah, just do this. And I'm not going to do that. So, it's like,
Yeah.
what unequality with the community also, right? So we keep it
Yes.
static one, but you can create it in 5 minutes. So this is how Hack2skill is helping. Plus, we do the mentor jury support, speaker support, and we give out goodies also. So guys, do check out the platform.
Specs are the greatest motivation factor for everybody
Yeah.
participating in a hackathon. So coming again to the participants.
Hmm.
So consider a participant. Consider I'm participating in a hackathon with my team. My team has a 4 member. So we just got the problem statement. What should be the stages? So there actually I'm asking this question because somebody asked in the chat, Priyanshu Khandelwal, if I'm not good at coding, how can I ace hackathons? So there are
Okay.
various roles which you previously talked about. So somebody is working on documentation, like you said, and
Yeah.
somebody will be looking at the graphics or prototyping, wireframing. Somebody will be actually coding it. Somebody will be the working on ideas. So what should be an ideal team? We have talked about how team selection should be done, but
Yeah.
let's talk about it again.
An ideal team is a team who has who has the power to find solution for everything. I'm not going to say who have the solution for everything, but who have the power to find the solution for everything. So hackathons, if we divide it into these segments, are two types. One, which needs a prototype in the final round, which doesn't need a prototype in the final round. That solely depends upon your ideation and things which you have presented. So the question was that if I'm not good at coding, how can I ace the hackathon? So Priyanshu,
Yeah.
what I'll say is that your team, right? this is a general tip for everyone. First, whenever you get a problem statement, spend at least 15 minutes on the problem statement. Worst case scenario, I've seen people like, okay, this is the problem statement, let's start building. No, no, no. You have to understand the problem statement, look for loopholes and not loophole, holes and loopholes both. How you can, like, find out way to do more in the problem statement. Don't limit your imagination. Think of what solution can be done. Write down everything in like next 30 minutes. Give out time to each team members that Ashish, Anuj, we have given 15 minutes on the problem statement. You go to your chair, I'll go to my chair. I'm going to say desk because in hackathons we get chairs. You go to your chair, I'll go to my chair. We'll do 15 minutes individual brainstorming, think of ideas, then come back and then do a group brainstorming of half an hour. Collate the ideas, think of a solution which can be integrated, which is feasible, economical, and which is going to create an impact. Then now see how much of it can be developed and what are the parts which are not, like you don't know about those technologies which you can't develop. So if you are first year, I'll give you a basic example of a first year student. If you are first year, so Wix is gonna be the one go-to tool to create your own website without coding, right? It's just pick and draw. If you don't know coding, just present everything you have in a very good format. So if you're creating a product, list down all the technologies you're going to use it, how you're going to create it, what is going to be the workflow, create a user workflow of that building workflow, create a timeline. How it's going to be built, how it's going to launch in the market, what impact is going to create in the market, user feasibility, organizer feasibility, not organizer feasibility, I mean organization feasibility. If I build this product and if I sell it in the market, how feasible it is for me to build it and sell it, right? Have good documentation. If you don't have the product, then you're coming down to two things: documentation and presentation, right? Documentation to show that you have planned everything. If the product goes in this direction, you're going to create this. If the product is going to go in this direction, you're going to create this. Have answer to almost everything. I know it's not something which you'll have, but think of every possible problem you can. Like when you have done like 6 hours of work, now put this idea in front of the teams. Ki, let's be negative for next 30 minutes. How many kinds of problem or how many problems are going to come in this product if it's launched? Not like after 6 hours, after a few hours when you work and you have initial base setup, right? Just think of the negative comments or negative impact of the product, then work around that. Divide your time that every 2 hours you're going to sit on this 15 minutes negative brainstorming, and then you're going to improvise the next 2 hours on that thing. So every time you do a negative brainstorming and you improvise the product, your product is going to level 1, level 2, level 3 according to improvisation, not according to a static growth of the product like level 1, level 2, level 3. Between the levels you're going to have improvisations, right? So if you are building a product, it's a good thing. If you're building a project, that's a good. If you're not, then you should include everything in the documentation and presentation. And I hope this answers the question. Hackathon is a topic where when I start talking, I just talk out a lot. So
We
Ashish, feel
actually
free to
want
pitch
that,
in between
Anuj.
and stop me.
We actually want that. Yeah. So no worries. You can continue if
Yeah.
anything
So
you want to.
Priyanshu had one more question: that how important is presentation part in hackathon? The best way we can present. So if you have the prototype, if then the best possible solution is to demonstrate your prototype with its functionalities, how you did you build it, and spend more time on the prototype. At the same time, giving out other pointers that it's going to cost this much, it's going to take an hours to develop, and X rupees would be the costing for it, right? If you don't have the prototype, then your presentation would be ace of spades for you, hukum ka ikka. Spades, ace of spades for you. If you have a good presentation, if you have good convincing skills, if you have access to the tech stack which you're using, if you know the in and out, irrespective of if you have developed it or not, I'm not sure if you're going to win the hackathon, but mentors are going to really like it if you have prepared for everything. I did this myself in second year. I did not develop any prototype because my teammate was ill. He ate a lot during the refreshments, and eventually he had to go to the hospital. Two teammates, in fact, and it was like 3-man team. So I had some documentation. I completed the presentation. I went on stage. I did pitch. I did the pitch alone, and I did not win the hackathon, but eventually mentors appreciated that, right? And you will get courage for the next hackathon, and mentors are going to suggest you how can you work on this project, how can you take this project ahead. I have one more thing which I like to add. It's not related to this question, Ashish, if I have your permission.
Yeah, sure. You need of it.
Okay. So, hackathons are of two types in this category. One, where you have to work according to the problem statement which you are getting and according to the tracks or themes. And second is that almost like 60 to 70% of the hackathons have a category called open innovation. In open innovation, uh, take one project and build it. So I'll give you an example. In your first hackathon, you build a project, just a minor framework, a basic structure, and put it on base. Mentors are going to give you suggestion. Take the same project, go to a second hackathon. Open innovation category. Build it from the feedback you got from the previous mentors, right? And from the skills you got in gap of those two hackathons. Do that, implement it, and keep improvising that project. You don't know when that project is going to be converted into a product and a product into a startup. I've seen a simple project in my first year. uh, uh, my friends built that in first year in the ideathon itself. They took it under open innovation category in 5 hackathons. It turned out to be a great product, and in third year they launched it as a startup, right? They have received funding also under my college incubation center. So that's a very good thing to do. And even when you're going to a specific track themed hackathons, and if you're going to a specific hackathon which has a specific technology, try to incorporate what you have done in your previous projects in this project. It shows the seriousness towards your project and how you can take your project forward with this. So I just wanted to add these two things here. Open innovation is something really important throughout the session. So
Can
this is
some tips?
Ashish. I can't hear you, man.
Oh, okay.
So there's one question from Karan that I have intermediate knowledge of programming and I can brainstorm too, but I lag down when it comes to complexity. So that's the reason why we have teams, right? So you are not the person who's going to everything. Anshuman is not going to build idea, brainstorm, document, and build the prototype. We have a team to do it, right? If you're good at brainstorming, you have intermediate level of programming, then that's your work, man. Brainstorming and building the project using your programming skills. Other things, complexity, and bringing down that complex level stuff in your projects and your brainstorming part to minimal part is your team's work. That's what teams are for. I hope this answers Karan's question. Hey Anshuman, hi.
Hi. Yeah, really. I was sitting backstage even. Yeah, I'm listening to every single point of view, and it's really visible to the like audience we are like we are having now and listening to us. That's really insightful. And I guess
Thank
Karan is saying I have intermediate knowledge of I don't know,
Yeah, I just
but
took on this question actually when you were coming to the stage.
yeah. So cool. So yeah. Uh, what are your thoughts in the like the future of the hackathons? If you want to take that.
Before that, there's a question on the screen: how much technical knowledge is needed to be an organizer? To be an organizer, you don't need technical knowledge. You need the skill to manage people who knows what they have to do. If Anshuman is part of my team, I should have the skill to manage Anshuman, who is good at marketing. I should have the skill to manage Ashish, who's good at developing projects, websites, and handling the tech part of the hackathon. So technical knowledge is not that important when it comes to managing hackathon and organizing it, but the skill to manage people is important. But yes, if you have technical knowledge, that's an add-on. But managing people is the skill you need, one of the most important skill when you want to be an organizer. And I'm really sorry, Anshuman, I forgot the question which you asked.
Yep. So I was asking about the future of the hackathon. Like, if you want to light this point,
Future
the,
from which perspective? Do you want it from a brand perspective who organizes a hackathon, or from a student's perspective who participates in the hackathon?
obviously our target are like the beginners are watching to
Students.
us. it's gonna be on slides. Yeah.
See, due to pandemic, the opportunities in hackathons have increased. Before pandemic, we all had the mindset hackathon is equal to offline event where people come together. But due to pandemic, we had few hackathons in online mode before the pandemic also. But because of pandemic, we have access to international hackathons as well. Through online phase. BUGTRONS Con is also happening online. If this was before COVID, eventually this would have been limited to a city, to specific five communities who are reaching out to multiple states and having it offline in some auditorium. And I would be speaking on a stage with the mic on a podium, right? So opportunities has scaled up a lot in terms of networking, job internship, project building, industry connects. So that's one thing which has scaled up and it's not going to go down. In pandemic everything was online. After pandemic, like right now, everything is going to be hybrid. So we are going to have a set of teams participating in, for instance, Delhi, and we are going to have a set of team participating throughout India or perhaps throughout the world. So it's going to be a hybrid mode.
Yeah, and that's totally cleared out my question.
It seems Ashish is back. Ashish, can you hear us?
Yeah, no, sorry. I was facing some internet
No, that's
issues.
fine.
So, yeah. So, we just talked about what are do's of a hackathon from a participant's perspective. So, do you want to talk about don'ts of a hackathon? So, basically, one thing I can think of is usually people do plagiarism in hackathon projects. So, we have to avoid that. And are there anything
Yeah.
specific you want to add to it?
Don'ts of hackathon. First thing is that don't distribute your time with the schedule of the hackathon. Right? Divide your time according to your requirement. Every hackathon is going to have a set of fun events. Every hackathon is going to have a set of knowledge sessions. Distribute your time, distribute your team. Suppose if Ashish, Anshuman, and Anuj, we all AAA, we all are in the same team. So if and there are five knowledge sessions, right? Distribute that. Anuj is going to go in one, Ashish is going to go in one, according to the interest in this session. If it's fun event, Ashish and Anshuman are going to go together in one event. I'm going to go to the fun event in other one, because in hackathon time is very crucial. We think we have a lot of time, but eventually if there's a small error you need a lot of time, right? So divide your time crucially. Don't distribute your time according to the schedule, but plan your time according to the schedule. Distribute your time according to your requirement, thinking of the schedule, right, of the hackathon. So this is the don'ts and do's if I talk from a time perspective. And as you mentioned about the plagiarism of the hackathon projects, people usually go into the GitHub open source files and open source projects and just copy it like
Yeah.
this is my idea. Guys, don't do this. Reason being, the people who are mentors and judges, they're not idiots. Don't take me in a rude way, but they have been a part of so many hackathons that just by looking the idea and hearing a presentation, they can judge whether it's your idea or you've taken it from somewhere. Example, I'm speaking through my mind, through my thoughts, which and my experience. If I tell Ashish that Ashish, this is in this diary, my hackathon experience is written. Just take this and take the session. You will understand that Ashish is repeating what's written in the diary and is just, like, aage bol raha hai. He is not sharing his experience. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
In a similar manner, your idea is your idea and you know how it's going to work. If I throw a bouncer at Ashish, he's not going to reply to that. So don't think of idiots, and in this way, you're cheating with yourself. Just imagine a scenario where you're going to build your own project, you're going to connect to new people, you're going to learn a lot, you're going to get a feedback, you can work on the project which can be submitted eventually as a final project for your college, and in the final sem, right? So the project can be used in a very good manner, but if you're going to use a plagiarist project and copy it from somewhere, that doesn't make any sense. So this is one of the don'ts in a hackathon. And apart from that, one more don't which I want to keep is that don't create your solution according to the trending technologies. I've seen people that, okay, Web3 is trending, blockchain is trending, RP is trending. Let's create a solution according to that. see, your expertise is in a different field. Just to
Yeah,
win, you're gonna okay. Oh, nice, daddy. Okay, Cherish. Yeah, for you. So this is the daddy I got at Sabo Labs eventually. So hey, Cherish, good to see you, man. So
yeah.
yes, as I was saying, what I was saying.
You're talking about don'ts and
Don't
similar
no in
things.
don'ts also. Yeah, I
Actually, I also
forgot what I
forgot.
was saying.
I also saw Cherish message and just forgot.
Okay,
So
okay. Let's leave it. Um,
yeah,
yeah, I was talking about don'ts, right? I talked about the time. I talked about the project plagiarism. Yes, technologies. Your
technologies. Yeah,
expertise, technologies. Your expertise is in different field. You know about Python, you know Django, you know Node.js, you know Flutter. But just to win and show extra, you're taking up technologies you don't know. The mentors and judges will burn you in front of everyone by asking questions on how did you do this, how are you going to do this. So select according to your expertise what you can do, not because what's trending. So these are
yeah,
one of the top three don'ts and do's according to me, what I have felt. Because I did a mistake. In my third year Smart India Hackathon, I thought that there are gonna be multiple software projects and very less hardware project. So I took up a guy, he was my close friend, like let's build a hardware project. And the whole team, he was working because he was the only hardware guy, and we were all working on the presentation and stuff. And eventually that messed up a lot. So from that day I decided that you have to go with your expertise, not because what's trending and which is going to increase the chance to win.
yeah,
And don't judge a hackathon on the basis of goodies, how many industry connect. You're going to get divide according to what's your requirement. If you're in your first year, then go to the hackathons where you're going to learn a lot, where you're going to where you're going to create your networks. When you're in your third year, keep the same thing in your mind with the intention to win, because winning hackathons is going to reflect a lot on your LinkedIn profile. It's going to reflect a lot on your resume. So
yeah,
with every progress you make, your mindset has to change a little, but with the intention to do network and learn and grow. These three should be constant, but don't be like, okay, Hack This Fall has a good marketing strategies, a good industry connects, and many sponsors with many tracks. But Hack the League, other part, has a lot of giveaways, has a self promotional stuff with industry connects, and at the same time they have multiple juries which you can connect. So there are two things which is different in both the hackathons, but people will see those two things, that okay, इसमें ज़्यादा इसमें कम है, let's go to this one. But they'll not see that industry connects are of same level, right? Giveaways are of same level. Then you should select the hackathon in which you have a chance to win and learn more in your own domain, depending upon the sponsors which we have, depending upon the
yes,
tracks which we have. So these are the top three, like three or four do's and don'ts which I keep in mind, and I give it to my friends that and my juniors, that this is the thing you need to keep in mind. Yeah. So
yeah.
this is
And
for the do's
talking
and
about
don'ts.
the hackathons you just told about, fortunately, those two hackathons were not at the same time. So I would say go both,
Huh.
go on both of the
Huh.
hackathons and participate.
Hack the league completed like this weekend, Saturday,
Yeah,
Sunday,
I guess. Yeah,
and Hack This Fall was like 2 months back, I guess, in the month of
yes,
October.
yes.
The
So
reason why I took this name is because first of all it's similar, Hack the League, Hack This Fall, like,
yes, yes.
and I know both the organizers closely, so
Yeah. And I also had to say one more thing about community hackathons. So those are your experimental grounds. Go there
exactly.
if it is your first time participating in a hackathon. Community events or community hackathons are the best place to learn things, have fun while learning also, because they have quite a lot of sessions, mentor sessions, and expert sessions there where you can learn and ask your doubts. So just participate in this community hackathons and you'll learn a lot. So this was the one point I had to say.
I'm sorry, someone
No worries,
came
Anuj.
into the
Yeah,
yes. So adding on to what you're saying, you said it right. Community hackathons are the experimental ground for the right experiment ground of sandbox for you. If you
yeah,
participate in hackathons, like IntelliSmart Instinct 2.0 hackathon, it's one of the hackathons we are organizing with IntelliSmart, which is a government organization. They have
okay,
a certain benchmark. They look to a certain level of solution which they have. You can't experiment in that because they're expecting a good product out of it, right? They're expecting a good
Yes.
solution. If I talk about the tracks, it's going to be around, the IoT, smart meter, cloud. So they expect a certain level of solution projects, and you can't experiment. But at the same time, the community hackathon is something which you can, experiment a lot, try out new technologies, meet new people, and you know, it's like the trial ball in the cricket we
Yeah,
used to
and
play,
the
na? Yeah.
best part is the open innovation. Open innovation is the
Hmm.
trial ball.
Exactly. Open innovation is the trial ball. In the corporate hackathons, mostly you are not going to find open innovation channels. Like if
Yes.
I take the Instinct itself, Instinct 2.0, it has four different tracks, four different problem statements, and the technologies are also specific. So eventually you have to build your solution around those problem statements. Right. So you don't have that flexibility. But at the same time, the opportunities which you're gonna get after submitting a solution, and just imagine you reach the final round, you're gonna connect with the government MVPs, you're gonna connect with government organizations, you're gonna work with them. The prize money also is different in government-based hackathons. Just check out the Smart India Hackathon, the Instinct Hackathon. The prize money goes over 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs cash, right? So eventually, not worth, I'm specifying on cash. I've seen 10 lakhs worth. So
But
it's 10 lakhs cash. Yeah. So the ROI of those hackathons is also good, but you can't experiment it out. Open innovation is a trial ball which you can learn, and then you can see which product seems more feasible on that when you develop
yeah,
it.
and I have seen, and I also done the same when I was participating in one of the hackathons for the first time. Like we create a solution and then we look for problem what it is solving. So we don't need to do that. So
Yeah.
focus focus on the problem statement and work on it. So that will be the best thing to do. And we are almost at the end of our session. We have took most of your time, Anuj, and
No,
we
that's
don't
fine.
won't take much.
I'm available 24/7 for the community.
That's great. Here's our community guy. So Anuj, we have one last question we want to take up, and if anybody from the audience has any more questions, just put it in the comment section or in the chat. So this is from Vivid. Uh, do you want to take that up?
I feel that I lack the feature of team building. Being a freshman, I don't feel confident enough to flaunt my just some skills. Okay, so when you talk to people, and if they think that you're flaunting your skills, and uh, you want them to work under you, then they're not the right person to form a team with. Like when you talk to people that, hey, Ashish, I have this skills and I want you to be part of my thing. If he understands what I mean to say, and if he like, yes, let's do it, I know this and we can handle it, then that's a part where you figure out, okay, this person is going to be a good one. If I think that, oh, Ashish is fronting in front of me, okay, let's be a part of it, but I'm not sure if this is going to work out. You'll understand from this from that conversation that either this person is going to be coming to the team, or is it going to be a good fit. So you need to talk to multiple people, talk to Ashish, Anuj, Akash, that I'm thinking to form a team, talk to 10 people, and then you should decide ki, which person you have to pursue. Ki, bro, please, let's form a team, it will be fun. And then it's gonna then take the conversation to the next level. Because if the person is judging you and thinking that you're gonna flaunt the skill, then I don't think you should go with that guy. Then that will have a bad ego issues when there's pressure on you that you have to develop, and you like ki, Akash, you have to develop this company. He's like, I'm not going to develop, do whatever you want. You can't do anything on that. And if at the
Yeah,
same time it's a person who wants to work with you, like, okay, I'm trying, please give me some time, he'll start coding again. So you need to figure out which person you need in the team. Sometimes you
got it.
need a person who is good at managing the whole team but doesn't have any presentation skills or a tech skill. But sometimes it's good to have that kind of person. But at that point, we need the team size to be five or six. If it's just three or four,
Yeah,
you can't have that person. So
yeah.
yes.
Managing the team is also one of the most
Hmm.
important parts of hackathons, because if you don't manage it, and just everything will go in vain. So
Yeah.
this concludes our session. And Anuj, if you have any closing remarks you just want to share with our participants,
Uh, do I'm gonna be the branding person here. I do join Hack2skill
feel
community.
free to.
We have a diverse community. The DevStrons team, BUGTRONS con team will share the Discord link in the chat section. Apart from that, do join in into multiple hackathons, learn a lot from everything. Do follow Hack2skill. This Friday we have crypto gaming session. Do join that. It's gonna
Great.
be fun, and yeah, we have a lot in bucket. Talking from Hack2skills community lead point of view, and talking as a community guy, contribute a lot, learn a lot. Just don't have ego in the community. If you don't have ego in the community, community has a lot to give you. But if you have that attitude, I am the best, no one is better than me, then you won't get a lot. I've seen freshmen who are joining the college right now having much more knowledge than me in some fields. I'm like, that's good, I'm going to learn from you, because there are a set of things which I know which he doesn't know or she doesn't know. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing. So be humble. Community will give you a lot.
Community for the win. And
Community
I
for
really
the win. I
resonate.
love
Uh,
community.
yeah. So thank you so much, Anuj, for coming here and sharing your experience with us. Our participants might have learned a lot from you, and I also learned a lot from you in this session particularly. So that was a
Thanks
plus
a
point
lot.
for me. And thank you so much for coming. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Take care, guys. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.